Hi guys, and welcome back to UX Clicks, a channel where we're coaching designers of the future. And today we just wanted to have a quick chat about the interviews, the job interviews for UX positions, and just share our experience of how we've had them in the past. So one of the things that I personally do very often is preparing elevator speech, or like talking about my background and what I've done before. But everybody does this differently. I mean, how do you usually, what is your experience in running sort of interviews?
I guess when I get a call from a recruitment agent, actually, normally it's more about what I'm doing at the time as opposed to giving a massive rundown in terms of my background and elevator pitch. I think when I was trying to get into the industry originally and trying to change and I wasn't working, then that was when the sort of elevator pitch came to play. But now I'm kind of regularly in a role. I will be asked, what's currently, what are you doing now? Like, how does that role apply to where you are now? But you do that differently.
All right, okay. No, it's interesting because I, for instance, usually prepare or have something prepared in terms of like short story of where I started. Maybe not short story, maybe sometimes too long. So like I said, I like to deviate from last job that I've done and just say, I'm gonna just tell you quickly something more about myself, so you understand more the context of what I do and how I work. I think it also depends whether you're talking to actual recruiter or you're talking to the hiring manager or UX designer,
true.
Right?
That's a really good point. If it's actually an interview with somebody, then definitely the elevator pitch, because they'll instantly ask you, tell me a bit about yourself. So then you go through kind of like background. Maybe you might go far back to what you studied, if that is kind of like relevant, and then talk about the company type of companies you've worked for. Then I think about maybe size is good, because you can think about kind of like contrasts of different agency to client side to finance to startup to kind of
probably that's a good point. When I talk to recruiters, I probably just tell them what's going on at the minute, unless we are on holiday. If it's with work, I think it's good to give them some kind of context of what you were doing, where you're coming from.
I think they want to know that, and it's good if you can kind of articulate that in a short 5 to 6 minute kind of few sort of paragraphs, because it sounds like you've done it a lot before.
Kind of good. It's a good thing, because it makes you sound very confident and like you know what you're doing.
Well, it's also part of the job, because when you get inside a company, you have to naturally sell yourself. So and not yourself, just yourself, but your design work and kind of research that you've done and how you've come to conclusions. And you'll be, if you kind of get to a senior level, you'll no doubt be dealing with senior stakeholders who will push you left, right, and centre. I mean, actually, even not just senior level, even if you're kind of working with big account teams, I know our guys push me quite a lot. Even likewise your product owner also, so you need to be able to sell what you the decisions that you're making and be open to be kind of challenged about that. So if you can sell yourself, that's like the first way of demonstrating I have a capability in selling.
I think also what I find really impressive in people when they actually can talk without sort of, I don't know, stopping themselves from being confused and so on. It's like the worst thing you can do when you're actually having the job interview if you just not saying anything. So I've had a couple of instances on the phone, especially when people actually say one sentence and they just don't say anything else. Obviously the other spectrum is me when I talk sometimes too much. But I think this ability to talk about yourself, about your work, about your passion for UX, what you love about UX, what is challenging for you in UX job, it's really important, and it sort of builds a better image of yourself. And like Simon said, it sells you much better.
Yeah, especially if you can provide examples of how you overcome challenges within the job in previous roles and the impact that that's had. So you start building a kind of real story. But naturally, it feels like when you do that kind of elevator pitch, inevitably another question will come off of the back of that, and then you roll into a kind of natural conversation in the same way you would if you're running some user research interviews with your kind of users that are using the product. You want to kind of have a natural vibe with the people that are interviewing you. It's kind of it should feel like a flow.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. So I think that's it for our little chat for today. So the biggest takeaways, I think, first of all, it's good to have elevator speech, short sort of selling yourself speech that you can present at any time of the day or night. Depending on who you're talking to, obviously recruiters might be slightly different, but also could be useful. Definitely when you're talking with the actual person that is going to hire you. And also remember, it's just important to be able to talk in general about yourself, about your skills, about your work. It's going to be very useful for you going forward in your career, so you can as well just start now, today. Cool.
Good luck.
Well, thanks so much for tuning in. If you like the video, please subscribe to our channel, and if you have any questions about UX job interviews or anything else product design related, please comment below, and we'll see you soon in the next video.
Cheers.